Labels on our water?
Labels on our water.
No labels.
Labels on our water.
We don't do free promotion no more.
Label on my shirt.
Did you watch it?
Sure did.
Connor?
Yo.
What you think about it?
Man, Connor's it.
Man, what is that? Why you locked up something like running water?
Nick Martin's live. What are you talking about?
Nah, I just shared it.
Yeah, so what I do is I go in there and do a watch party, you know what I'm saying?
We got 4 viewers.
How do you do a watch party?
I don't know. I tried to do it.
Go on there hit share, and it'll be a watch party.
Hit share. Hey, shout out to Gourmet Meals to Go though. They did. She's out serving like 50
meals.
Yeah.
Can we get something dropped off?
Yep. All right. Where do I go to watch party at?
Look, go with the share. Let's go to watch party. That way it's.
I don't see it.
I know I can't never find it online.
Yeah, I don't know. It's on my phone.
Let me show you from my phone. Watch party. Watch party. Big flex.
Yo,
Watch party. Rolex.
no Rolex. You gotta turn it off.
What do I gotta turn off?
Your computer is picking up.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
What's that noise?
Oh, that's my phone. My bad.
Come on. Come on, Rob.
My bad. My fault.
I was like, is the sound still in the room?
My fault. My bad.
All right, we got
The regular state of mind. Let's get it.
Nick Martin. Rob's watch party. Let me share.
No, share it from the page.
I know, but why won't it let me start my own watch party?
It will if you share from the page. You're trying to do it
All right.
from mine.
All right.
Man, that picks up a shoe. That's crazy.
I went into a whole spill last night with a guy about breeding dogs. I mean, help me understand. Am I right? I mean, if this makes a perfect sense.
Let's start the podcast.
All right, all right. Let's start the podcast and we'll go into
See
that.
watch party?
Watch party, which I get what they're saying. All
There
right.
you go. Yo. So you going live from yours too?
No, I just shared it for a watch party. Should I go live?
It's up to you. On your IG?
Man,
Go for your IG, Jude.
All right. my phone's gonna die. I need to charge it.
Yes,
You
you
don't
already
need your
have.
phone. Put it on there, Jude.
You can't go live from IG from your computer.
Yeah, you can.
No, you
No,
can't.
you can't.
Uh,
IG doesn't have a platform.
Well, just do what you do. Just go on IG.
Look at my phone.
What's it on?
Nothing.
He ain't got no red. Man,
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Man. Welcome to another edition of Trust the Process Podcast Live. Yours truly, Rob the People's Plug Martin. Joined by always, Nicholas the Reverend, the Italian Stallion, Edward Martin.
Hollywood.
It's Hollywood this week.
Yeah, this week.
And Mr. Irregular String, Mr. 1 in 7 billion, Julius Maddox.
Hello.
It's me
It's
you're
me.
looking for. What's up, guys? Week 3.
Allergies on 10.
Week 3,
I can
Corona.
see it in your eyes.
Week 6, Corona.
Yeah, Nick, everywhere you go, they're going to be like, man, I know you got it.
Man, allergies on, pollen's on record-breaking numbers right now.
See, somebody was like,
It's the
I was
worst
on-
time to have allergies.
I know, I was on live the other day and somebody was like, are you hot? Because my eyes were really
Yeah.
watering and like red.
That's
Yeah.
mine too.
I just responded back to your mom.
Wow.
Man, irregular.
Why would you say that? Don't put that on me.
Irregular.
What's up, y'all?
That's Derek put that on me.
That's
All
what
right.
you says.
Go to Trust the Process. We're about to go. We're live on there.
We are live.
What is that?
That's me.
Wow.
I'm trying to get it to where I can see the comments pop up.
Uh-huh.
Look, y'all, if anybody has any masks that they could make and let us have, we need some of those masks.
Yeah, we need some irregular masks. Put the regular strict logo on them things. If we got some embroidered, look, those would be dope, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Who did I see with that?
So,
Pastor Mike Todd. Y'all see that? Look, he had the mask and it matched the sweatpants.
oh, he's killing it.
Oh yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
What a pastor.
Man. So what's up, guys?
Man.
How's it going? Are you done?
Blessed beyond measure. Don't talk to me like I'm a
I'm just asking
5-year-old.
you. All right.
No, I'm not done. I was looking for the live so we can see the comments.
Go to trust
Pop up.
the process. There's a search bar for a reason.
Rob, there you go again.
Let me give you the steps.
Let me give you the steps. Where was you at this morning?
Was he on time?
Working?
Man, look, I called him at 7 o'clock this morning.
Man, that's what I work.
You was at work at 7?
No, I wasn't at work at 7.
I know you wasn't.
Nick, when does Jew ever call it 7?
Hey, we talked about this.
He's on a new leaf.
It's time to get on the grind, right?
Okay. It's time to get on the grind, huh?
Technical difficulties.
Hold on, I'm turning it
101.
down. I'm turning it down.
What kind of computer you got?
Man,
It probably won't show you the comments because you're not an admin, probably.
Oh, that's probably why. I'm not even an admin on their page.
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
So, yeah, everything's been slow motion. I'm really feeling the effects of the coronavirus. Not physically, but
Mentally?
just mentally, man. It's something that's just draining, man. My kids, I went out and spent a whole bunch of money just so my kids can have some extra stuff to play with because they're tired of everything, even spending time together.
What'd you get? Crafts and stuff?
My crafts was last week. I bought Izzy a Power Wheel, and I bought them all Razor scooters.
Man.
And
They are riding.
and they're riding right
Are
now.
they staying outside?
I ain't had no phone calls. Yeah, they
Look,
been
I'm telling you,
outside.
look, we had two massively hot days. Man, and then we had that shift, and it's like, back down into the 50s and 60s, which it feels great.
What's a massive hot day?
Man, y'all, Nick,
80.
was it not hot?
It was about 8.
I don't know what massive hot.
Man, it was so hot, it had me thinking about opening up my pool.
You got a pool?
Yeah, a small one.
Nah, it ain't too small.
It's got a diving board. I heard.
Man, you better be careful jumping off that diving board. Man,
You got diving boards on top of lava rocks.
Dang, he's killing it. God is good.
Man, all the time.
Praise Jesus.
All the time. You go out the Jews yard, it looks like you see all that land he got out there?
No.
Man. Look, so we're in week
Come on,
3.
Rob. Turn your phone off.
We're week 3. Is this week 3 of Corona?
Probably week 8.
No,
Man.
it's like week 4.
It look, my hair and my beard looks like about week 4.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Not yet. Nick don't. I don't know what Nick been doing. Nick, you line yourself up?
Yeah.
Jew, you looking kind of rough too.
Don't point the fingers, Robert. Don't point the fingers.
I feel you. So how's the week been going?
Like I said, slow motion. I've been crazy. Just at home all the time. Really, I'm really starting to believe in this like social distancing thing, even though we're here. But
We're 6 feet apart.
no, we're not. We're like 3, but that's okay though. But no, like it's becoming real. Like Walmart's limiting people coming in, stores are limiting people coming in. I heard in some states, if you are not wearing a mask, you're either gonna get a fine or arrested.
Yeah, they ain't playing with people.
Yeah.
I think that's what they should do anyways. I think that they should they should have already done like a mandatory lockdown from the federal level. That way it doesn't put the pressure on the governors because our governor is doing an amazing job with being transparent and just connecting with the people every day and just keeping everybody up to date. But that's a lot of pressure to tell everybody, look, don't move.
But why is it state to state? Why ain't we
That's what I'm saying.
one order?
Because it's not like federally mandated, I
This
guess.
is the United States of America, and we are everything but that as of right now.
I seen one pastor. He was like, "Look, they can't stop me from having services."
On Easter.
Man, they're like, look, I seen this clip the other day where the police showed up to where this church was having service, and he was like, look, I don't want to do this, but if y'all don't disperse, I'm giving everybody $1,000 ticket.
Wow. You know, people's shuffling.
Nah, he was like, look, God got us. I'm like, man, no, that's ignorance.
What about the snake handlers? Are they still having church?
Oh, yeah, they're having church. I'm like, look, we're covered by the blood. They be like, they be holding up the snake like that. If you ain't in sin, the snake won't bite you.
Yeah. No,
And that snake grab a hold of that neck, you start.
Snake the big
Hey
15
man.
people.
Hey, so man, happy Good Friday.
What about you, Nick? How's everything going now? So
Everything's good. Everything's good. It's I went through last week. I went through the same thing you went through, like just some slow motion, some depression, and I started watching some videos about it, and just trying to get tools to I was soaking in it. I was like, man, ain't nothing to do, so I'm just gonna sit here. But I just got a few tips from it. Like they said, get up and get dressed, take a shower, look presentable, at least act like you got something.
I don't.
See, Nick got that collar shirt on.
That don't even make sense.
The rapper got that collar
Well,
shirt on.
what they say is like if you just sit there in your sweatpants, like you ain't got no motivation, like your mindset
Oh yeah, I get
will
that.
shut down.
But I'm saying like getting up and taking a shower and putting clothes on ain't gonna make no.
Oh yeah,
Well, it just
Not
trick.
for me.
What they say
It does
is
something to you.
it
mentally.
tricks your mind into thinking
Yeah.
we're doing something.
Okay, I can understand.
It's right. It's just like forming a habit. When you do something over and over for so many days, and then it stops at the drop of a dime, your body is still going to move like it's always moved.
Yeah, this week I've been on my grind.
Besides
I
that,
went through
though,
my season last week.
yeah, allergy season looking like I got the corona.
Nick, he has been on his grind. Look, he texted me this morning talking about you want to meet me at the gym.
7 a.m.
Look,
Man.
No alarm clock needed.
man, I scheduled my stuff. I scheduled my
Just
stuff.
like you scheduled my shirt to me to wear that shirt at 9 o'clock this morning.
Man,
Yeah.
look, he already
Hey
told
guys,
me.
look, they all got their fancy shirts on
Not-
today.
not
Oh,
Nick.
Not me.
they got their fancy
The
customized
People's
shirts.
Plug. Shout out to the People's Plug.
I didn't get one. I didn't get one at all.
He got 10.
Come on, man.
He already got 10.
Ask me the last time I had a new one.
All right, look, like I was saying, happy Good Friday. It's resurrection season. Hey,
Amen.
look, this is this is such a unique time that we're going through. Yeah, it does. I mean, I guess if you look at it from that perspective, it does suck in some way, but at the same time, man, it's a blessing. And if you drive down any road and you look around you, man, life is happening. Life is blooming.
All right, open us up in prayer since it's Good Friday.
Reverend,
You.
Go ahead. I did last week.
I
all
know.
right. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for what this day represents. When you took the ultimate sacrifice for us, for me, when you hung on that cross so that I could be in right relationship with the Father, man, I did nothing to deserve this. You did everything. So I just ask that, man, during this season, during this resurrection season, this Easter season, as we move forward these next few days, that we remember the sacrifice that you did on our behalf. So I just ask that that through this, our words would affect people, would get into people's lives, that they would see you and hear you and feel you through us, just by who we are. So do what only you can do. I ask that this would just reach the multitude, and that and through us that we could be good vessels for your use. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Easter is gonna be weird this year, ain't it?
No,
Yeah.
man, Easter's going to be special. I'm telling you, something's happening.
I'm saying though, Bella asked me this morning. She was like, "Dad, what we gonna do? Where's ain't no Easter egg hunts going down."
Yeah, Brandy is. So I know a girl that's going around putting Easter eggs in people's yard for you got to pay her, but.
What they gonna do? Solo hunts though? Like,
I mean, let your daughter don't. Do you think your daughter thinks about having people around to chase Easter eggs with? No, she don't care.
ain't that a part of the thrill though?
I mean,
Like who's finding the $5 egg or
Well,
who's
that's
finding
right.
the $10 egg?
well, what tradition is that in?
That's what I'm saying. Nick is the reverend.
I'm saying, like,
It's in the
where's that?
Nick's the reverend. Nick's looking for the Easter egg.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna
Nick's
be
like,
different.
look, Bella, go get that one.
Hey,
That's
you
the
know,
golden egg.
I know one thing. We ain't social distancing on Sunday. What season we're gonna have?
Pop
What?
up.
Man, it's about to go down.
What do you mean?
Reals.
They about to eat good.
Are y'all cooking?
Don't all y'all cooking?
Drew, you focused?
Yeah, I'm getting loud. Yeah, we're cooking. We're about to whip it up. Something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking
I'll be
about
out there.
doing something small, doing a small cookout, because if we're outside and we You know, we can get it in and still practice social distancing.
What if somebody starts coughing and sneezing and was like,
man, they're outside.
Well, if everybody looks at them though, like,
if you gotta use the bathroom, you better go in the woods.
For sure. So,
I mean, when y'all think this is gonna be over? What's y'all's?
look, I heard they were talking about the presidential election, and how like it must continue. There's people like they're serious about it, like it must continue.
Is it fair though, with everybody locked in their house in the season that we're in? How are we going to elect a new leader during this season?
I don't know.
If you
It's
base it,
part of the plan.
You know, there's some conspiracy theories out there.
yeah,
Like,
man,
they're just doing this to keep Trump in office, and we don't want it.
Yeah, they're going nuts right now. Yeah. They said that this is a man-made, and I don't know, it may be. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with all that. I ain't.
So in the beginning, from my understanding, in the beginning, it wasn't man-made, but they made it man-made in a lab in like somewhere in the United States.
Well, you know,
so transfer from animals to humans.
Well, what's so crazy is in order to get the cure, you almost have to take that. You have to take that virus and break it apart and figure it out. That's where the vaccine comes from. Just like the flu vaccine has a bit of the flu in it, and that's the cure. So the cure is actually found in the virus. Do you know that?
The life is in the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, what did I want to ask you guys? I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast or not, but for some reason, driving over here, I just had I thought about it again, and I wanted to get you guys' opinions. Live, you know, while we're doing the podcast, and I know we did this before. I don't know if we did it on the podcast, but it's who is the real person? Is the real person the person that's in front of you, or is it the person that's online?
Both.
Yeah, both.
Why?
I mean, why not?
So is the person in front of you also has mask on too, just like the person online. So all of it combined is somewhere in the middle of it, you get the real you. So just like online, you put on masks, you usually only see the best foot forward online. Like you see the happy pictures of family, you see someone's best version of themselves. Most people don't put the raw, authentic them online, and also in life, you also learn how to wear masks too. So there's only certain people that would know the real of what I go through. Everywhere else I go, you get the happy, even if I'm going through stuff in my head and I see a random person, you would never know I had something going on mentally.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's both. We just learn how to mask it off.
Well, I mean, many times have I discussed how I felt, whether I was depressed or in a season where I felt like I was distant from God, in my relationship with Jesus, where it usually is. People almost looked at it like, "Is Drew all right?" He's on the verge of losing it. You know what I mean? And it's just like I was just trying to be open about my situation because people don't expose themselves on social media simply because they practice things where they only show the good side of everything. So their best pictures, like Nick was talking about. Their best pictures, happiest moments, and all these things. And but again, like to be honest, I wouldn't be attracted to Facebook if every time you got on there you seen something depressing.
True. It's definitely a highlight reel. But what I'm saying is so the way that I broke this down in my head was like, so the person that posts online, the person that is on social media, when you post, it comes from like the deepest parts of you. So a lot of times you don't say the same things you post. It's two different things, right? So I would say that the person that you see online is the truer version of who you are, because it comes from that place of like your the biggest desires that you have, your biggest wants, your biggest needs, your biggest even the things that you lack, right? So you post from this place of, it's not, a lot of times it's not the stuff that you talk to people about, so you put it out there. That's how you let it out of you. So that's why I say that it's probably about a 90% chance that the real person is a person that posts.
Yeah, so what you see is their real desires coming out. So the problem with social media is does social media use you or do you use social media?
Yeah, that's good.
So it's your desires will, like if you like attention, then you'll see social media be used for attention.
Oh yeah.
Or if you like, just keeping up with things, like you'll see that social media is used for that. Like you'll find yourself scrolling. So what social media I think does is just pours gasoline on the desires that are really within your heart. So it will show you exactly.
So it just intensifies it. That's what you're saying. That it's like gasoline.
Yeah. So social media is like gas, and and you see it nowadays. It's what I believe is it's ruined marriages because now instead of getting fulfillment at home, you find fulfillment on likes and approval from what other people think about you.
Oh yeah.
But that desire was already in there. That self. You wanted approval from others. Social media has now just put a flame on it, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always been there. Social media just gives you the platform to be able to do that. Get the attention and desire. You know what I mean? Like we call it. I guess we would call it being thirsty, or somewhere along those lines. But it's just crazy how we got to look at this too.
My fault.
What do you mean your fault?
Man, it comes through my computer.
Man, okay.
Come on, man. You've been over there tapping the whole time.
But you can't hear it though.
What are we talking about?
What do you mean? What are we talking about? We're talking about your character, who you are online versus who you are offline, or who you are on social media. Like, come on, don't get it twisted.
So who's the real person?
I think it just depends. It depends on the individual. There's no way to really find out who the real person is unless you actually know.
Well, just think about like the filters they make. They know exactly what they are doing. They are appealing to your desires. A woman, I ain't even gonna say women because maybe men use filters too. I don't, but
man,
imagine
I used the filter before.
But imagine what they
Drew, you use the filter.
I use them sometimes.
But imagine what they know when they know. Imagine the designers behind the filter. They know they are appealing to your desires to look perfect. So that filter that I see a lot of women use that makes your face flawless, it's because they know that is the desire deep down within a woman to present themselves as flawless.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I use filters just because for the color. I like the colors of what it does to the picture. A filter ain't gonna make me look.
Yeah.
A filter ain't gonna make me look pretty.
And that's where I think like you can't demonize it and say like, okay, is it right or wrong? Does it control you? So, you see a lot of family photos, and one thing I can't stand, but everybody gets trapped into it is you got to take 100 photos to get the one photo that you can post. And you're thinking about it as you're taking the pictures.
Oh, yeah, no.
Which one is going to look the best on social media?
I'm guilty of it.
I don't go through 100 photos, maybe 2 or 3, but like.
Yeah, but at some point it's all right. That's the best you're gonna get.
Yeah, you're taking pictures with kids, and a lot of times, look, I'm telling you, my wife is bad about it. My wife blinks every time I take a picture. She blinks. I don't know what it is, but it's like her eyes are connected with the camera lens, and every time it snaps, she snaps. So it's like we got to take a few, but what I'm saying is you're always going to want to present your best version of yourself to other people. But I think at the same time, that's also that person that's deep down inside of you. So I heard something the other day, and they said that your life eventually looks like your innermost desires that you have. And I agree with that, because at one time, this was a desire of ours to have a podcast, to have a studio to where we come in and do this. But what happened is you have this gap from like your desire to reality, right? So now we're sitting in what once was our desire. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you going with this?
Well, what I'm saying is, so what's some desires that you have? I'm trying to talk about your desires and how they come to fruition.
Yeah. So I think it starts with a desire, and then the people that get there or don't is the ones that pursue those desires. So one of my desires, I think we talked about this at the beginning of the year, is to one day get into real estate. So that's my deep down desire, and whether or not I apply my desires to a plan, I feel like is whether I'm going to get there or not. So I think your desires will ultimately, if you have a plan behind them, what ultimately leads
Oh
you
yeah.
to
Well, they say
what you
failing
do.
to plan is planning to fail. So like Jew, so one of your desires is an 800-pound bench press to do something that nobody's ever thought about.
I agree.
So what I'm saying is so you are taking the necessary steps in order to bring that to reality.
Yeah,
But could you have false desires too, though? Like,
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Are you not understanding, Jew?
no, I mean it's just over my head.
so you could want to go to the NFL, right?
Yeah,
But that could be a desire. But if you never get in the gym, it probably is not going to happen.
yeah, but what's this have to do with posting on social media?
It just went into that.
Oh, okay.
It all came down to.
That's why you lift weights.
It all came down.
I'm just saying, like it's over my head. Like I don't know what direction you're going with
Yeah, we're just talking. We're
you
having a
know,
conversation.
from a
We're just
person
having a
posting.
conversation.
Okay, a person posting online. Well, I mean, I'm sure probably some people out there that are listening are like, where are they going with this?
So what you got to say?
So, Jew, have you ever got, and and I think everybody has, so I think this would help because you are verified on Instagram, right? So, like,
Yeah.
you're one of the elite.
Check.
You're one of the elect.
Yeah. So like,
So, has that ever, like, taken over your, like, man, they ain't comment or they ain't sharing this post like I thought they was, or
I mean, a little bit, especially like so. Like my thing is like not because of like necessarily them sharing for a reason, but it's just like the work that I put into editing and things like that, and people don't appreciate. Like if somebody doesn't appreciate it, but I don't look at my videos and go, oh man, you're a bad dude. Like, man, you're about to get all kind of likes. You're about to get all kind of followers. It's not about that. Like, I'm just in a season now. Yes, I'm verified on Instagram, but once I got that verification badge, it's cool and all, but like,
It don't change.
at the end of the day, it don't change nothing. Like, my goals are still the same. I didn't go from Julius is going for 800 to saying, oh no, I'm gonna forget that. I'm better than that. I'm going to do something else, or you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't change really who I am. My family life is still the same. My relationship with my wife is still the same.
But I think you struggle with a whole different component of social media because, like, when I post, I don't get anything negative. Like, I get likes and probably a few shares.
Oh yeah, I got to post.
Stuff. Like, thank God you
last
get
night
negativity on
about
every.
haters.
Oh yeah, about breeding dogs, right? So yes, we breed dogs, and I'm not saying.
Is that something like the Tiger King breed?
That's what it sounded
They
like.
call me the bench king, but I breed dogs though. Dog king.
Like,
No.
is it like a mix of dogs or like?
No, I mean, like, it's a breed of dogs, right? So here's the point. I get it. So man, look, yesterday, it was animal rights people and everything on my page.
Oh yeah, Peter.
They was on there trying to clown me, and I'm like, so here's the point that I tried to make. I said, so I'm assuming that since you guys are coming at me like this, that you guys are vegan, right? And they're like, why would you even say that? What does it have to do? Being vegan have to do with breeding dogs? And I'm like, because they were trying to say that these dogs that I'm breeding are going to be in cruel conditions and they're going to be, abused and left to fend for themselves and all this stuff.
Man, they thought you was Mike Vick.
Man, they was trying to treat me like I was Mike Vick. So what I told them was, I said, are you a vegan? And they responded back like, no. And I said, so what about the same process of processing animals with these these factory farms? That whole procedure of how they breed the animals and treat the animals and herd them in small coops like chickens and pigs, and they're stepping in their feces, eating their feces, all this nasty stuff.
Oh, man, how you making?
But you're eating that meat. You're supporting those farms by buying their products, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so how can you sit here and bash me for breeding dogs where people come to me, they want a certain product. They want a dog that they know what they're going to get. They're going to get a great temperament, meaning the dog is going to be calm, great around their kids, that's not aggressive. They know what they're going to get, right? So that's just what I was trying to explain to them. And just like yesterday, I had a guy tell me, it was somewhere along the lines of they got a shelter dog, or the neighbor got a shelter dog, and that dog attacked their 4-year-old kid.
They didn't know what they was getting.
They didn't know what they was getting.
Yeah, but you never know. So how do you know? Like any dog, I mean, I'm not saying that you know the dog, but I'm saying like you never. It's a 50-50 chance, right?
Not if you do selective breeding, and when you do selective breeding, like the dogs that we have now are based and they were selectively bred on trying to create a dog that isn't aggressive, doesn't have those characteristics of your typical dog that would have aggression. So
yeah, but that's not to say that it wouldn't do something.
One thing I always think though is to get a dog from when it's a puppy, so you know its tendencies.
Yeah.
So like how they got a dog at 4 years, like I don't know what that dog's been through. It might have some trauma. It might have some emotional distress.
We took in a dog that had been neglected, right?
Yeah.
And we brought him back to life. And he's one of the best dogs you can have.
Oh,
one of the best dogs you can have. So it's not that I just breed dogs. Like we've taken in dogs that have been abused.
Yeah.
And we took care of, like our dogs eat better than us. I mean, you're talking almost combined, you're talking almost $600-700 a month in dog food. Vet bills. I mean, you're talking thousands in vet bills. So like our dogs go to the vet. We don't just leave our dogs to fend for themselves. So at the end of the day, people know what they're going to get. And our dogs, Rob, you've been around our dogs.
Oh yeah.
So what do you
think? What I'm saying is like, so you still have that chance of the dog being a dog, right?
I don't think so. I think that I mean, of course, humans can be humans, dogs can be dogs, but I'm saying at the end of the day, like, if you train a dog to be aggressive,
what's the Bible say about that? Train a child up in the way it should go.
Yeah, and it won't depart.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So if people. But
going back to social media, like imagine all those animal rights activists on there. Imagine if social media would have, and this is what I think the problem is with social media is it can affect your real life. So you went from a post on social media. And I think this is the problem in it, how it trickles is, can that change your mood on your whole day?
No, not really. I ended up telling him, I said, if you're that passionate about it, you need to contact Girl Basket.
Big Cat Rescue.
Was she behind it?
Yeah, she was behind it. But, you know, I mean, that's, like, I make light out of it, like, we can nitpick anybody's life and say, look, you're doing this wrong, you shouldn't be doing this. So like, this is what I choose to do. I love it. I love our dogs. I love breeding. I love the process of it. And I love giving people what they want.
Yeah, you got pups for sale too.
Yeah, we got pups for sale.
Yeah, beautiful dogs. So I wanted to hit on something you said. You said that, when you do these videos and, people don't appreciate it, I think that it's hard to appreciate anything that you're not attached to. So like I may put my hard work and effort into doing something and expect for somebody to appreciate it. And then when I don't get that, I'm like, man, like they don't see how much hard work I put into this.
I think that's natural though.
And that could go all the way across every level of life, right? So it's like
marriage, kids.
And I think the problem is in social media is everybody thinks they're an expert.
Oh, everybody.
Oh, definitely.
So you got somebody telling you how to hit an 800-pound bench.
Man.
That ain't never hit it.
Yeah, I had a guy come to me one time and was like, I know your current coach. He's a great coach. He has pretty much all he has most of the best benchers on the planet, if not all, right?
Credentials.
I mean, he's the trainer. He's the trainer that trains trainers. He's the coach that coaches. Man, he's the coach that coaches coaches. And and he was like, but I'm telling you, in order for you to get to the next level, I'm the one that's gonna that can get you there.
Is he talking to you like Master Splinter?
Well, guess what the advice he gave? Guess the advice he gave Jew.
What?
He said, "I need you to take some peroxide and stick it in your arm."
Yeah. Same thing. He was in the same conversation. He said, "You know the injury you got on your shoulder?" He said, and this is all social media from stuff I posted on social media. He responded, and he called me, and he was like, one, he said, "Yeah, with your injury and by looking at you, you only got a few more 700-pound benches left in you." Then he was like, "The injury you got, you need to take some get a syringe, take some peroxide, and shoot it in the area that's affected." First of all, peroxide kills flesh.
Man, that sounded like he was trying to take you out the game.
That's the problem. Think about that. Everybody thinks they're an expert on there. So
where am I going to find a syringe?
Jew will break a world record, and you'll have people on there telling Jew how he can have better technique that's never broke a world record.
You see what it is. You see when like LeBron plays, everybody's going to be like, oh, they got an excuse. Because it's easy to, from the outside looking in, looking on somebody and what they're doing.
If I was LeBron, I would have did this.
Yeah, and have something to say about it.
He should.
My biggest thing is coaches.
Oh, why did he take a layup?
It's when people people try to put themselves in the coach's seat and saying, "Oh, if I was a coach, I'd call this play."
You see that a lot in high school.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
High school sports is the
Drives me
worst.
What's up?
The parents think because they coach their kid, when they're not, on the floor, that they should be the head coach of the team, and that just ain't how it goes.
What's so cool about LeBron? If y'all didn't know, he took his 4 buddies from high school, Maverick, I forget the other, Rich, and another guy too.
Man, shout out to the whole team.
When they first did that at 18, and LeBron was like, "He's my agent, he's my manager," and the other one was something else for him, and they created their own brand. The NBA hated that. They was like, "There's no way your 18-year-old friend is your agent."
They said something about it. The commissioner said something about it.
Yeah, they was like, "No, this is not." They called them like their posse instead of like
you and your gang over there.
Yeah, he said you and your posse, and you and your clique over there. And he's like, "No, that's my agent. That's my manager." And everybody always has a suggestion on how you can live your life and how you should do what it is you do.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's easy. It's easy from that perspective, because like when you're not on the floor and you have to make those decisions, like in a basketball game, man, it's easy to be like, "Oh, you should have did this." But from that perspective, you may not see that.
And what's so crazy is I'm grateful, like at Owensboro, like I get to see behind the scenes,
man, everything,
and to see the work and the effort that the coaches and the love.
What's the head coach? What's his
Jay?
Man, shout out to Coach Jay Fallon.
Jew always said that was the worst thing. Jew said like the coach would have like a defensive scheme he's setting up, and a mom or a dad would yell out like to their son, like, "You just blitz."
Yeah. You do what I say. What type of stuff is that?
I mean, we grew up around parents that were like, if you're one of those parents, just stop.
Yeah, lay back in the Maybach.
Especially, I can understand. I'm not gonna say I can understand like Pop Warner and stuff like that, but I'm saying when you get to high school, college, like, I mean, if that's the case, you know what's best, then you should try out for the coach's position.
You should
be the
create
coach.
your own team. How about you do that? Go create your own league where your son can be the MVP. He can be the quarterback, the running back, and the lineman, and score all the touchdowns. Yeah, man, that's ridiculous. Especially going to these games, man, and just the attitude that you hear. It's almost like a hate for the coach when it don't go the right way. Man, this coach, like Coach Jay Fallon, he has to put up with so much, just like you said, behind the scenes. Like, man, he is trying to take these boys and turn them into men. It's more than just a game of football. That's just a piece of it. Yeah. And that's why I appreciate and honor him because, man, for Owensboro High School, man, I'm telling you, he's the best coach that I've seen in a very long time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Rob.
No, I agree. It's
I got it.
We gotta be. You gotta let the coach and the players play.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
All righty, trust the process.
Come on in.
No, I'll call you when I get done. I'll call you when we get done. We're recording. I got you.
Rob, what is Rob got going on?
You done?
And there was a brief interruption.
Nick took off his headphone. Where you going?
Man, it's been the wildest podcast.
Man, we are just enjoying, man, the process that we're on.
Gallbladder.
Yeah, so, but I know we kind of got off track about, like, being who you are on social media or being the same person you are. Like, who are you really on social media and in real life? And I mean, for some, I think that's very hard to make that distinction because, like, the crazy thing about social media is you can be who you want to be.
Man, anybody.
You can be who you want to be on
Catfish.
social media. So, like,
Catfish. You ever been catfished?
No. I mean, because ever since really I've been on social media, like I've been married or I've been tied to heaven for real. So, since like 2010.
Yeah,
so.
But back in the day, before we was married,
I didn't really use it.
They had MySpace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we didn't really use
it. AOL. That's when the chat rooms was big.
Yeah, but people didn't really catfish. I mean, like.
Yeah, that wasn't the thing.
I think a catfish was like us being kids trying to pose as we're older than what we are. You know what I mean? Talking to older girls and women. Yeah. So, but other than that, like catfish. You're looking for Carol Baskins. Other than that, like a catfish has been like starting around like 2009 and 10.
But think about this, man. That brings it all around full circle because look, people are catfishing. When you go on social media and you try to portray something that you're not, man, that's catfishing.
Oh yeah, like there's been studies on the mental effects of people in social media and how social media portrays certain images and people try to uphold to that image.
Man, catfishing.
And it is mentally draining to try to keep up with the status of everybody else because again, you're comparing yourself to everybody's best or everybody's top. So that's all you see. So think about that mental fatigue you would have of trying to keep up or trying to look better than this person or trying to have this latest gear to be able to, or whatever the case may be, to be able to, we'll call it flex online.
Yeah.
But as the kids say nowadays, you're capping.
Hey, y'all straight capping. And
capping.
Look, the thing is right now, hey, what's your flex doing for you now?
Yeah.
What's that drip doing for you now?
So if social media was taken away, who would you be?
Catfishing.
And I've thought about that. Like if my social media got hacked somehow and my Instagram was gone, my Facebook was gone, all other platforms, YouTube, like who would I be? And I've thought about this even before I got verification because Rob knows I didn't want to give my passwords up to anybody.
Man, nobody.
And I was like,
especially Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins try to get my passwords. But but at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't define me. Yes, I love posting, I love connecting with people.
Yeah.
I do love having a great following and being able to keep up with people that follow me. But when you're at the top of your game, you'll realize, I think I'm just at a point to where it's not all as it seems, meaning, yeah, it's cool, you got followers, you can do all this stuff, but you gotta understand that the negativity follows.
Oh, yeah.
The hatred follows.
Yeah.
So for every compliment, you get, 50 hate comments, So,
oh, yeah.
I mean, they're not real. I'm not going to say it's because a lot of people believe in what I do and love what I do. So,
but you're always going to have those people.
For the most part, most people experience a lot of hatred, whether how they dress or whatever the case may be. But
somebody's always going to have something to say, man. And I would say, look, if you're not so if all the social media platforms were stripped away, I think you would see how big of a catfish you are, right? So, like, would you still do the same things?
Yeah.
Would you still have the same level of hustle and grind that you once had when the camera was turned on? Because if not, man, that's a big catfish.
Yeah. And so that's one of those things. It's just like, are you being who you say you are on and off social media?
Man.
Which I'm not saying I'm perfect. There's times that me and my wife, we argue.
Man,
there's times we fight. There's times that, and of course, none of that stuff gets posted. But at the end of the day, I believe that the Spirit convicts me if I am in some way, shape, or form, not being authentic.
Oh yeah. You got to look at yourself. Michael Jackson said it best. it starts with the man in the mirror. So.
No, or another thing is people that I am that's in my network will call it out. So that's
important too. That's important too. Have people around you that won't let you sit in your nonsense. Won't let you put up. With just living mediocre, man. That's why I love who we are and what we're about. With this irregular state of mind journey, it's just, look, we're not just settling just for whatever. We don't just live whatever. That's why during this time, we're on each other saying, look, what are you doing? What you been doing? Just like I really appreciated your coach calling you and saying, look, what are you doing? It did something to you, didn't it?
Oh, it sure did.
It did. And it made you look at yourself. And those are the best type of people to have around you, because if you have people that just co-sign your nonsense, man, you can find those anywhere.
And you know how I knew? Because I wasn't being who I usually am on social media.
Man, come on, Catfish.
So here's what happened. My coach reached out to me last week and was like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Nothing, chilling, just hanging out." He's like, "I know, I can tell." And what he meant by that is like, you're not doing what you're normally doing. You're not taking care of business. You're not posting. You're not
catfishing.
Yeah, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to get the job done. Especially when there's something on the brink, something great that's getting potentially happen.
That's it.
And you're just sitting in the back seat while everything else is going on. So he kind of got me in check, and this week kicked me back in drive.
Man, they lit a fire up under Jim. I'm talking about he took that lighter and put it up underneath of him.
I've been back at it. I've been back at it, and we all need, like last week. That was when the physical and everything hit, like the depression and all that stuff, just because there's nothing to do. Spending time with your kids, like in the first couple weeks, I loved it. By the third week, I was ready to pull my hair out, pull my beard out.
Man, look, if I had my hat off, you'd see all the grays. I promise you.
The fourth week, we're back in action.
Yeah, back at it, man. I think that, look, but if you never experienced that valley, man, you would never realize what you needed to do in the room that you needed to improve in. So, Nick, while you was...
think about how valuable that is, though, that you have someone speaking to your life like that. Yeah. So when you don't have someone speaking into your life,
that's what I was saying.
Then you just believe anything, right?
Anything. They just co-sign whatever you want to do, and that ain't good. So we was talking about, man, people not being who they are. Like if social media was completely stripped away, would you still be who you say that you are?
Oh yeah. See, I always suggest that you should actually make yourself go on like a social media fast.
Oh yeah.
At least like once a month. Because what it does is, without you even knowing it, and I'm glad Apple did that, you don't even realize how much time you spend on social media and how much that distracts you from living a real life. So one thing that always helps me is I intentionally will put up my phone and put up social media so I know it doesn't rule me. And I think that's the best solution I've came up with, because I've struggled with that and I've talked to people about it. And they said, no, Nick, don't get off social media, but use social media like a job. Get on there, post, get off of there.
It's a tool, yeah.
It's a tool. It's not for you to be distracted for hours. It's a tool for you to post information and get what you need to get out there without being ruled by it.
Oh, yeah. Because
so I always recommend, like, all right, get off of it for a day.
It's like a toilet bowl. You go in it, and you're going to get lost in it.
Yeah, even, sorry guys, but for the most part, like, me turning my phone off at night, like completely off, not even putting it on silent. I'm just, I want to totally distance myself, and that's what I've done this week.
Have you?
And I've seen that by me doing that, it's helped. It's kind of helped. Like I caught myself. It's crazy. I caught myself like meditating at night, like putting on some Stephen Furtick.
Who?
No, look, how you say his name? Stephen Furtick. Furticky.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? So like he has these mellow meditation music, and he reads the scripture.
He kills it.
And I just put it on and just play it, and he's just like reading it. You know how his voice is. It's just kind of like...
Shout out Stephen Furtick.
Yeah, Stephen Furtick. Is it Furtick or Furtick?
It's Furtick. Don't listen to the Reverend.
Well, did I say it right the first time?
No, you said Furtick.
Fartnick.
We didn't know who he was talking about.
But
no, you're exactly right. That's what. But how do you disconnect from that emotionally?
Just turn your phone off.
So there's a thing.
DJ Khaled has a bed for your phone, and you go put your phone in a bed and tuck it in.
There's a
thing,
it charges it. And I think this is how you should evaluate social media and evaluate other things too. Is, are you busy or are you productive?
Man, that's good.
Because you can be busy and distracted and doing a lot of unnecessary stuff.
I got something funny for y'all too. Did y'all do Bible studies with y'all's kids this week?
I did.
I did with my wife.
See, I did. We did our meditation, but. I was just mad. I don't even know why I was mad. I was like, "That's it. We're all doing a Bible study tomorrow."
Oh yeah, they're gonna hate Jesus.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, like, here's what the cool thing was: is me and Bella actually started doing a daily Bible study, and we started in Proverbs, and we got done reading a chapter. We was gonna do a chapter a day. And yesterday, when we was doing our homework, she was like, "Hey, Dad, let's take a break." And during her break, I seen her pick up her Bible and underline in parts she was reading, because
that's awesome.
That's what she sees me doing. So I think if it's like, are you busy? Are you productive?
That's
so
good.
It's like we can be busy watching series and series and series on Netflix, but what are we productive doing at the same time? And I'm not downplaying. Like I watch Netflix all the time, and I watch. And I play PlayStation right now because, I'm honestly like everybody else. There's nothing to do.
Are you playing online?
NBA 2K18.
Are you online? 18?
Yeah, I got games that people gave me.
So I mean, it's like seriously over the past 2 weeks though, like there's so much stuff that has been getting done around the house. I know that. I mean, like that's been huge. Like the wife, shout out to the wife. She did all the flower beds. Has our house looking crazy, amazing. Just getting yards being mowed. When I go home, I'm mowed again today, but everything looks good. Everything's clean. Everything's, man, I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful that we actually got to get this time because
it's a blessing.
Man, it's chaos. And when my house is clean,
you feel
my mind is clean.
Hey, look, you meditated with Ferdinand on another level.
I'll be ready to spend money.
You doing yoga? Are you?
I'll be ready to spend money. On my
Let's
wife,
get it
I'm ready
done.
to trip. It does something to my, I never thought, like, it does something to my soul. Yeah.
But look, think about that.
Rain.
That's what I was telling you about the depression. The number one tool was to get up and get dressed. Because what it mentally does is it think, like, so when she cleans the house, how you just said, man, it changes my whole mood.
Everything.
Yeah.
When you get in sweatpants season and you just get comfortable with walking around in flip-flops and sweatpants.
And that may not mean for you, Jude.
Your mood and your mind says, I'm not ready right now.
Yeah, like for you, that may not be it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, that's
But for you, it's something,
yeah.
right? So
For
whatever
me,
it is, you
it's
got to
getting out of the house, leaving.
That's good.
Because I get away from
this.
this. I mean, like, it's distraction.
It is for me too, because I have to stay on a routine. I have to stay busy, and if I don't stay busy, complacency comes in quick, and complacency kills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just like you said, with finding that space. Hey, I got a question. You been doing yoga? We should do a yoga channel. Jude, focus.
No yoga for me.
Do you do yoga?
I've done it.
He does.
But listen. I did
Juga.
I did Juga for the first time on. I did it probably about a month ago, but I did watched it on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and I'm doing the stretches, and I'm already struggling. I'm sweating, and then they're like, "Look, this was about 15 minutes," and they said, "All right, now we're done with the warm up. We're gonna hit it." I said, "No, we are done with everything." I was mad. I was talking.
You thought that was the workout?
Yeah.
Hey man,
I
they
said,
had
we
you
are
doing
done.
some position. Hey, that would be fun. We should get you doing a yoga channel, man. That'd be funny. People would love it.
Yeah.
Yoga for big guys. Look, you can just make up your own moves and everything.
Man, that would be legit for real.
Nick, would you do it? We should all three do
If
it.
Jude did it, I would do it.
And if y'all two did it, I would record it. I would definitely record it because it would go live.
Yeah.
Dude, what you doing?
But think of so. That's what I would tell the people, man. Is are you busy? Are you productive? And what are you busy doing? I think there's a quote like that somewhere, but it's I'll always evaluate things in that like Nick can be busy playing PlayStation all day long. Nick can be busy, doing nothing productive all day long.
All day.
Or I can use this time wisely, and I'm not demonizing. Like I do think there is relaxation time and there is chill time. Like no human, I think, can just grind, hustle all day long.
Well, what I'm saying too is to add to that is like it's gonna be rough for some people getting back in the routine once all this is over with.
Really rough. It's
Like,
gonna
it's
show
gonna-
you. It's gonna show you how big of a catfish you've
Yeah,
been. Hey, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it's going to tell on itself. I mean, you're gonna tell on yourself because when things get back to normal, you're gonna look. People's gonna be tardy.
People ain't gonna be able to make it.
People's gonna be tardy to class. I promise you. Because you're gonna see what the reality is gonna be is what you've been doing. Because you are a makeup of the decisions and the action that you constantly make.
Oh yeah, you done formed habits in these last month.
Man, Cora
It's gonna be long lasting.
I got Cora habits. That's what I said. Look, I made a post the other day. It said, you're going to see a whole generation of babies come from this time because, look, with all this time on your hand, you're going to get creative, especially if you're married. God bless the married people right now. I'm telling you what. You're going to get to know your significant other.
It's gonna go really well, or it's gonna go really bad.
It's going to make or break you, ain't it? It's going to fold or mold you.
But look, it is a struggle right now for like single moms who like I don't know how you expect
Man,
people
God bless you.
to
Yeah.
work and try to do homework with, say you got 3 kids.
Yeah, shout out to the single parents out there.
Shout out to
not just moms,
that's
but
right,
dads
single
also.
moms and dads, yeah.
They're still taking the daily
and
grind.
still making it, yeah.
Y'all better send those teachers a gift card.
That's right. Now, yeah, that's right. Look, and the thing is they are still making it, right? So they're adjusting and man, and learning how to make it through this time, man. And I want to give you some hope that look, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That tomorrow is a better day. Just to hang on, man, and lean on God during this time. If you ever need any kind of motivation, need any kind of prayer, need any kind of anything, man, we're here for you. Reach out. Trust the Process Podcast, Instagram, Facebook, Gmail, Trust the Process today at gmail.com. Yeah. We're also looking for sponsors still. If you know anyone, if you have a business, a brand, any kind of platform, and you'd like to partner up with us, man, we'd love to get the opportunity to do so and just grow each other together. We're big on mutualism. I don't think that we just do anything for no reason. We want to have a relationship, not just a business relationship either.
Whose phone keeps going off?
Man, I guess this
Rob, come on, man.
Again, Nick.
Trust. My phone's on silent.
My phone's on silent too.
It's your computer then.
It might be Juice's phone.
Trust the process.
My phone's on silent.
Hey, so give the people some McNuggets heading out, man. Going into week 4, week 5 of Rona?
Week 84.
All right, so
it feels like week 84.
So what's something tangible that you can give to people?
Man, simple. Keep fighting the fight. Pain is temporary. This season is temporary. It will soon be over. And let me tell you what. Them checks about them bank accounts are in the next couple months. So listen, it's gonna take really, I know some people talk about it, but it's not gonna fix the overall problem, but it's gonna help. So I'm grateful for the government, making it happen, but man, I just want to tell you guys,
I'm gonna make it rain with
if you're going through a season, you're struggling, guys, it's temporary, and if you need a shoulder to lean on, I mean this. Scripture tells us, you who are weary and burdened, come to me and I shall give you rest.
Preach.
And I just know that in my darkest season I've ever had in my life, I turned to Jesus and I haven't looked back. And
hallelujah.
Yes, it's been rough. It's been a rough road, but I promise you it's worth it.
He never said it'd be easy.
We're having a joyful life even through the coronavirus. Like, my spirits are up, and all of our spirits are up, our family spirits are up, and the only reason why is because of Jesus, and I can't give credit to anybody else, anything else. So, guys, and if you're struggling, you always can reach out. We got a lot of feedback last week on just people reaching out about the podcast, what they're going through, what they're struggling with. And if you'd like to come on the show sometime, let us know. We'll get you on here. As long as you're not a catfish and you are who you say you are.
That's right.
We'll get you on here and we'll have some good times.
Yeah, make sure that you like, follow, subscribe. We are on YouTube now as well. You can go back and watch this live. Subscribe and follow and share something on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated. Reverend, you got anything before we go?
Yeah, I was just wanting to add to what Juice said is the worst thing for a lot of people is isolation. So, no, you're not in this alone. I don't know why Juice laughed.
It came out your nose.
Oh, let me tell you something real quick before you say that.
Look.
Go ahead, finish it. I'm going to come back. You go ahead and finish it.
All right, so the worst thing for people is isolation. So don't think you're in this alone and don't think you're a burden to reach out to someone around you. So God gave us community because he knew it wasn't good for Adam to be alone. That was the first thing that wasn't good. So reach out to others, whether you have to Zoom, whether you have to FaceTime, whether you have to start group text like the million I'm in. But the most important thing is to know that you are not in this alone, that you are not by yourself. So I think whatever you're going through, whether you're going through addiction, whether you're going through abuse, whether you're going through, weight loss problems, whether you're going through anything, you are not in it alone. Reach out to a community around you that's supportive and encouraging you, that's for you and not against you. So find you a community that loves you and points you to the truth.
Get back on your grind, But the reason why I was laughing because it might have been Jonna that sent me that video where you and Rob was racing, and you tripped.
Yeah. Thanks, Jonah. Thanks. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got the wrong people around you that always want to pull you down.
Hey guys, just know you guys are not alone. We're here for you guys. You can always reach out. Make sure you go follow Trust the Process podcast page. Again, if you guys need anything, give us a shout. I'm not saying we're going to be able to make it happen, but we'll try our best to do what we can do for our community. I don't know what Rob is. He's vibing right now.
Man, Michael. Michael
Just
told
let
us.
everybody know, y'all.
You
y'all
are
ain't
not
alone.
alone. Have a good week.
You are not alone.
Peace.
See ya. You are not.
You are not alone. Sing it, Nick.
Nah, we on live.
Yeah, we are live.
Try to get Nick. Great show.